Hi, my name is Narasimha Reddy Bommaka. I am a certified Scrum trainer with Scrum Alliance, and I've been helping people learn Scrum and use it in an effective way from last 9+ years. And I've also trained many professionals. I've trained more than 20,000 professionals in last 9-10 years of my work. And I'm using this opportunity now to help people understand Scrum real quick, right? So if in a nutshell, Scrum is all about 3 roles, 3 artifacts and 5 events, and how they're all connected with each other, right? So in Scrum they have 3 roles. Those 3 roles in Scrum are product owner, Scrum master and the development team. And we have 3 artifacts in Scrum. They are product backlog, sprint backlog and product increment, which is shown as finished work here in Scrum. That's called as product increment, which means potentially shippable working software, right? And there are 5 events in Scrum. They are sprint planning, daily Scrum, sprint review, sprint retrospective and the sprint itself. Sprint is a container event within which all the other events are happening. So let's talk about how they're all connected now, right? So when a new project starts, product owner is somebody who is from a business side, who is interacting with stakeholders, understanding the vision or the problem statement of what needs to be accomplished in the project, and based on those inputs is coming up with initial product backlog that has a prioritized set of features, prioritized or ordered set of features that he believes when done is going to help give the outcome that the business stakeholders are expecting, right? So once that initial product backlog is there, he will probably meet the development team and they together is going to probably plan for a particular sprint, right? So the team is going to go through the initial product backlog, go by the priorities set in the product backlog and decide how much work they take up in the sprint. So that way team and product owner get together and agree on a sprint goal that they will try and go after in the current sprint, and they'll also have a sprint backlog that has details of the features and the technical tasks the team is going to take up to achieve that outcome or the goal, right? And Scrum Master, of course, is a process coach, I would say, and he is somebody who is going to be helping team and product owner do all these events well. So he is a facilitator of all events. So he will be helping the team and product owner understand how to do this sprint planning more efficiently. So once that planning is over, the team now has a sprint backlog and a shared understanding of the goal that they need to achieve in the sprint. And now throughout the sprint, the team is going to work together. They're cross-functional team, so one cross-functional team, and they're gonna self-organize their work and do whatever needs to be done to achieve or to create the working software meeting the sprint goal, right? Along with that work towards sprint goal, team is also going to participate in one event called daily Scrum every day. I would say daily Scrum is more an opportunity for the team, that development team, to get together and synchronize their work every day and see how they are doing to meet the goal by the end of the sprint, and see if there is anything that they have to help each other out to make that happen. So they work towards the sprint goal every day, and towards end of the sprint, there are 2 events that happen in every sprint. They are sprint review and sprint retrospective. I would say these are the last events that happen in a sprint. So first it is review followed by retrospective. So the sprint review is an opportunity for the entire Scrum team. When I say Scrum team, I mean the team, Scrum Master and product owner, to get together with other business stakeholders and showcase what they have accomplished in this sprint and get the feedback on the product increment. And that feedback from stakeholders could result in adding new items to the product backlog. If product owner looks at that feedback from stakeholders and see if there is something that we have to do differently or a new feature can make it more valuable, using that feedback from the stakeholders in the sprint review, he could end up adding new items to the product backlog or make some changes to the product backlog, right? And most important to remember in sprint review, I would say, is it has to be done through working software. A lot of times people conduct sprint review as a meeting where they get a big slide deck and talk about what they have accomplished. I don't think it's a great idea to do that. Sprint review has to be done through working software, and that's when stakeholders have an opportunity to see what the team has built and give an actionable feedback on that, right? So once the review is over, the next or the last event, I would say, inside the sprint is retrospective. Retrospective is an opportunity for the entire Scrum team to get together and look at how they are working together as a team and see what they can do to improve. So I would say retrospective is a continuous improvement opportunity for the Scrum team, where they focus more on the process, the people, the other issues related to how they are working, and see how they can improve as a team collectively. And very important, I would say, for Scrum Master here to make sure this meeting is actually used not to finger point at each other or blame game, and make sure it doesn't turn into a blame game, right? Instead, they are using, Scrum team is using this opportunity to using this retrospective to look at how as a team we can do things better and improve the way they are working. So I would say Scrum Master definitely has a very important role to play here and facilitate this retrospective to try and make sure it is being done in a way where team is learning how we can improve, rather than using looking at it as something to blame game or finger pointing at each other, right? So once the retrospective is over, the sprint is done, then you are back to square one. The next sprint starts again, where you can plan for the sprint, you have a sprint backlog, and things continue that way. All right, and as the team is busy working on the sprint here, right, you must be wondering what the PO is doing, I guess, right? So when the team is busy working on the current sprint goal, the product owner is probably talking to the stakeholders and looking at what next we should do in this project to try and increase the value we're delivering to the business. And in the process, he might be adding more features to the product backlog. He might be reprioritizing some things in the product backlog, or he might be removing some things. So there's something called as refinement, which is also part of Scrum, and he's focused in the sprint looking at what next the team is supposed to work on, or what next we should build to deliver more value to the business, which I would say is refinement. Along with that is also available to the team on a daily basis to look at what they are working on and give them the feedback or the clarifications they need to try and meet the sprint goal, right? That's, I would say, is probably Scrum framework in a nutshell. Okay, thank you.